Windsor High School is in its implementation year for restorative practices. And restorative practices is a set of principles and processes to deliberately build community. It's building community through deliberate relationships that are based on respect, inclusiveness, trust, accountability, and responsibility. That sets the foundation so that when harm is done to the learning community or to the relationship, that harm can be repaired in a meaningful, non-punitive way.
When students have a time and a space where they're not, immersed in just their academic learning and trying to, make the grade or whatever, I think really the deeper experience is seeing part of them light up in a way that doesn't always happen. Giving them a chance where they can really tap into something deeper inside and actually connect to other people on that same level. And I think that's really what all the practices are designed to bring about, is that experience of wow, I'm actually starting to see people in a new light, and they're starting to see me in ways that they've never been able to before.
People get to know each other, people get to express themselves and to receive information from other, whether it be students or staff or just people around them. And it makes sense because they can understand more where he or she might be coming from. You don't have to judge, you don't have to guess. It's right there in the open, and it's a safe place to be.
We experience most of our restorative circles in English class, which is my 2A. In English class, we kind of started off with the topic of our book, and then we continue on with how we felt that day, or how our day was and how that person's feeling, to just kind of like get connected to one another. And for me, circles are a way to open up to your school and to your classmates and to kind of get an understanding of people. Like before, maybe that kid that was shy in the corner could be this super nice guy that you become best friends with later on, but you wouldn't know if it weren't for the circles.
It's made it a lot more playful in the classroom. You feel a lot more connected with your teachers, and I mean there's still the respect as them as an instructor, but you're more comfortable with them.
I would like to think that it's difficult, especially at maybe not so much at the 11-12 level, but certainly 9-10 you come in, it's a new thing because it's new. Kids are new to the classroom, kids are new to high school, kids are new to the core concept. So I feel like it brings them a little bit closer, and that's always, even a small shred of a step towards community and towards closeness is really part of a dynamic that helps, especially ninth graders, feel like they're part of something bigger, like the classroom, like the school, but also feel like they're part of something smaller, a smaller learning community, like the classroom, like the core, and maybe just who they are as learners. So I think it goes back and forth that way.
What I've gained is relationships. I've gained relationships with my classmates, with my teachers, the staff. I've gained a lot of relationships, and I've only been here for 4 months now, and I believe that this has greatly impacted my situation here.
Practicing circles definitely affects our environment very positively. It really gives us a comfortable atmosphere where we just know that there are no limitations, that we're very open with each other, and we give each other opportunities and different, chances just to really express ourselves.
It's mainly just bonding, I think, knitting us together, getting us to know each other. It impacts the classroom environment because later after the circle we get to use what we know with those people and interact with those people in a way that is more special and unique to them, because now we know what is going on in their lives, what they're like.
Well, when I had health the first semester, I had it at the very beginning of my day, and so that impacted the rest of my day because I had a circle, and I would look forward to that class because I knew that we were going to do a circle. And it was kind of like a therapy, I guess you could say, but it really changed my mood because I was excited to go to school, and I don't know, if I had any problems, and I would just bring it to the circle and I would have a weight lifted off my shoulders.
There are two that caught my attention. One is communication and the other is community building. Around communication, It gives a voice to our students. If you were to sit in a classroom where they are doing circle time, some of our students who you'd least expect to speak up have an opportunity to speak up and find out that some of the experiences they're going through, many of their classmates have experienced also, or can have empathy for that. The other is community building. We want our students to feel a part of something. It starts within the classroom, building that community there. We have a talented staff that helps work on that. And then taking it outside the classroom, building it on a larger scope in our high school.
I've always appreciated circles for the open, you can't hide, right? And even as a teacher, you know, we wear many hats. Teacher as leader, teacher as guide, teacher as coach. You know, teacher sometimes is not jailer, but disciplinarian maybe. And you sort of, I think the back and the forth becomes, at least in the circle, and I hope this carries over into the everyday, day-to-day issues of the classroom, makes you a real human being, and they understand you're trying to figure out just like they're trying to figure it out, whatever it is, life, an idea, a hard concept, or just what learning is or teaching is, or what school is. So I think a sense of honesty and maybe trust and sharing are the critical things that's different about this year using circles.
Well, I've gained a new understanding of people, just how similar we all are, and how many everyone has a different alteration of the same problem.
A lot of times it brings out emotion, which can be difficult to deal with. And you as a person, you don't get to no longer hide behind whatever your title may be here on campus. You have to become a person and relate to whoever you're dealing with, whether it's another staff member or it's a student.
So creating an environment that is risk-free, raising your hand involves taking a risk. Here at the school, we want all of our relationships, the whole campus, to be this way. Like, I might have 156 kids as my total contacts as a teacher. How am I going to build those kind of relationships that way? So with restorative practices, there is a system way that we can do that. We've heard of class meetings before, but a circle is a lot more structured. We have a great book that helps our teachers define different ways to use a circle, different ways to resolve conflict, different ways to use language in the classroom that, in even asking a question, helps a student have a lower affect, feel more willing to take a risk. So getting to know our students that way at all levels, our support staff, our teachers, has made a huge difference.
Nobody emphasizes that anymore. Nobody wants to get to know each other. Everybody's on their phone, busy with their lives, and it's rare that we ever just stop and get to know each other, and I think it's important.
Overall, restorative practice is causing students, one by one, who experience it to feel more safe and feel more part of the school community here at Windsor High School.
Circles affect my relationships with the teachers because it really lets me know that teachers aren't just there to teach me, that they're there to actually help me, and that I can seek them outside of school and outside of the classroom for either maybe more help on academic work or actually just help in life in general.
I mean, being a student here at a high school, you don't really usually get a special bonding experience with a staff or a teacher, or even like really adults around campus because they see us as just young people. But really, I feel like we're young adults and we're maturing, and everybody's growing up, going through different things. So when they give us an insight to their lives, like when they talk about their marriage or their kids or their hobbies, it really lets me get to know them and makes me trust them more.
Also, I think it definitely challenges me to be vulnerable in ways that are not always easy, but yet are necessary in order to have a genuine communication and to really be able to see each other for who we are.
I think that we've become more conscious as a school community about that kids are hurting out there, or kids have feelings that matter, and they have thoughts that matter, and given the opportunity to share them, they'll be authentic and true with themselves and with other people. I think that's the same with staff, and our staff and school culture, and that includes everybody from student advisors and admin and teachers and support staff and everybody out there, that there's just been a consciousness that there's other ways to do things than, say, just strict discipline or just those kind of consequences. I think there's things to be done in the classroom and in your daily interactions that matter, and communication that matters. And I think that's helped the school, just that consciousness, and I hope it carries forward in the future.
What I've gained participating in circles would have to be my confidence, because I'm not really an open person and like talking about my feelings and stuff. But circles, if someone takes a lead into talking about their feelings or about how they're doing, everyone else begins to, and they don't become as shy, so confidence has to be one of them.
Circles have affected my life outside of school. They've made my relationship with my mother grow stronger, because I have that wallish mechanism, and unfortunately that goes to my mom also, and so circles have helped me build a stronger relationship with her.
We actually do circles at home with my family now. We started doing them, so it's really helpful. I really enjoy doing circles.
The way that I would say that it has affected the feeling of safety is that it has allowed kids to see that other kids also go through things, and not only that, but their teachers. When we do circles and things like that, everybody exposes a little bit of themselves, and there's that sense of vulnerability. Therefore, I think it allows other children to feel vulnerable and not so alone, and it's really then kept everybody at a more positive level and able to really help out.
I feel like the most important thing about restorative practice is the idea that each person gets to be heard, each person becomes an equally important member of the community, which gives them responsibility and accountability. I believe both of those are extremely important, right, in any community that is safe, any community that is a nurturing place.
Honestly, I would highly encourage other schools to practice restorative circles, because it really does change students' lives. Like my friends who used to be very sheltered and quiet, I see them opening up more and talking more, and students learn how to better communicate their feelings. So I think it's overall a very positive thing that all high school students should be learning.
Probably the hardest thing for a school to ever define is its culture. What is culture? Well, it really is sort of like the sum total of everything that you do. How kids feel, their progress, their engagement. And so we see a big bounce forward in doing this, because kids are feeling that they can learn. And you can be engaged when you're relaxed. And you also know what to do when you have a conflict, because we always will have a conflict from time to time, but knowing how to resolve it and have the strategies to do that, that's key. And that's part of learning too. And that's what makes me a big believer and a big advocate of restorative practices.